Well, tonight I'd like to host state leaders for Profiles in Courage, but courage is often in short supply in the halls of power. So instead, we're going to profile the hardworking people all across Florida who have tried to drain the swamp for years.
And a lot of people in this country don't understand the pain of a mother. You know, people think that I should be over it. I can never be over the death of my son.
Isabel Castellanos' son died in a boating crash. And when she asked the legislature to beef up the boating safety laws, she discovered who has the real clout.
You talk to one and they'll say, you're fighting the boating industry. We need money for the lobbyists to fight against the boating industry.
They've said this?
Yeah. It's all about money. It's all about power.
Now, she did convince lawmakers to pass a new law requiring boater safety classes. But after the photo ops, after she left town, they watered it down.
Now you gave me a surprise that things have changed. It's okay. I'm glad you did, because you opened up my eyes, something that's so simple, and yet now they washed it down.
Years ago, the legislature also passed tax credits for businesses in blighted high crime zones to help the neighborhoods there spring back. And then later they approved maps that exclude many of the hard-hit neighborhoods and allow luxury resorts around the theme parks to scoop up most of the tax credits.
The businesses that are impacted have very effective lobbyists, have deep pockets, and so they go into a mode of maintaining the status quo.
What would you tell tourists who would like to come to International Drive and the attractions, but they're scared off by all the high crime and deterioration and blight?
It doesn't exist. It's not there.
And would you believe the state passed a law promoting healthy food and school lunches that also happened to weaken protections for fire victims? The legislature passed a law that protects a negligent contractor, if there's negligence, from the victims?
That's exactly right.
Last year, the victims of fires that burned through the town of East Point learned about this one a little too late.
The people better stand up and notice that you don't have the protection that you think you do.
I mean, we worked our butt off for what we have. And now we just, hanging by a thread.
And did we mention the affordable housing crisis? Florida happens to have this dedicated fund to build affordable houses and help struggling families and seniors buy or fix their homes. But this year, the House leaders once again quietly raided it, sweeping out $125 million from it to pay for their own pet projects.
We know the politicians have other things to think about too. It's not just housing.
It's campaign donations.
Right.
And it's the PAC money.
Exactly. So many things they have to worry about.
Re-election.
They
also have to worry about climbing the ranks of leadership, raising money, raising more money. Speaking of money, voters gave disabled first responders who were wounded in duty a tax break. In 2016, they wrote it into the state constitution by overwhelmingly passing Amendment 3.
Because these are the most wounded of our wounded.
But then the legislature took those tax breaks away from most totally disabled first responders living in Florida, even though they were disabled in service, including those disabled while responding to the World Trade Center attacks on September 11th.
A friend of mine sent me a link to one of the reports that you guys had done about this issue, and we started digging into it. I was frankly shocked.
Well, State Representative Adam Hattersley saw our first investigation on that, and in response, he sponsored what became bipartisan legislation to restore those tax breaks.
Once we are made aware of it, we have to move forward to try to fix it.
But this year, House leadership would not even let that come up for a vote in committee. In short, it was squashed.
I was disappointed that we would not only supersede the clear will of the voters in the language of the Constitution, but that we would even consider treating first responders and veterans this way. We owe them more than that.
In state politics, this is what you get. And in the coming rounds, we'll moderate a series of discussions and track the action and inaction in state government to big money as we continue to shine the light on money, power, and politics.